There's a burning question tearing through the world of venture capital right now, one that scares and excites all at once. Why are the smartest VCs betting on startups with zero revenue? Not a dime coming in. Nothing to show on the balance sheet except hope, a vision, and maybe a crazy dream. It makes no sense at first glance, right? Why pump millions into something that's not even making money? It's the kind of move that sends chills down the spine of anyone who's played it safe, followed the numbers, and stuck to the rules. But here's the raw truth. Playing safe never built empires. It never sparked revolutions. The top investors, the ones who don't settle for average, they've seen something others miss, something most people are too scared to admit. The world of venture capital, the rules we thought were set in stone, are breaking down. Traditional metrics, those old equations about earnings, profitability, projected growth, they're losing their grip. Because the biggest chances, the real game changers, often look like empty shells at first. No revenue, no customers, no proof, just relentless belief in something no one else can see yet. It's terrifying, it's raw, and that's exactly why it's brilliant. These startups, they aren't just businesses, they're statements. They throw a middle finger to the safe bets and the everyone else. They're saying, we're not here to fit in or to play by your book. And the VCs jumping on board? They see that fire, that refusal to bow, and they know this is where true future lies. The kind of innovation that isn't just iterative, but revolutionary, transformative, something that can't be measured by today's calculators. If you're one of those investors stuck in the old mindset, hunting for clear revenue streams and timelines, you're missing the point entirely. The pain you're feeling, wondering why others are willing to throw millions on nothing, is the echo of change crashing through your world. It's uncomfortable. It should be. It means your safety net is burning and it's time to step into the fire. Because here's the secret. Revenue isn't king in the early stages. Not anymore. What really matters is the founder's vision, the audacity of their idea, their ability to understand and unlock new markets that don't yet exist. The vision to see an opportunity where no one else does, to build communities instead of customers, to create impact rather than churn out quarterly reports. That's the unspoken magic behind these bets. And this is where the pain of waiting, of clinging to old rules, stops making sense. When you place money on a fledgling dream, on timing, on raw potential, you're joining forces with creators who refuse to be boxed in by limitations, their own or yours. You're betting on rebellion against the system that banks on mediocrity and conformity. You're throwing in with the few who know that the future doesn't reward those who follow. It rewards those who lead, who break, who build something no one else dares to imagine. It's brutal and beautiful at the same time. Because betting without revenue data feels like jumping off a cliff into the unknown. But what else is real progress if not that leap? Every dominant business that grabs headlines started as an idea that looked fragile. Amazon before its first sale, Tesla before its first car delivery, Airbnb before the first guest. None of them had revenue streams that screamed safe bet. And yet, every one of these giants was fueled by investors who saw past the empty balance sheets and placed their trust in human potential, in the relentlessness of vision. So, how does someone join this movement? How do you turn this uncomfortable feeling inside, the fear, the doubt, into undeniable confidence and power? It's about learning to read between the lines, to feel the pulse of the founders you back, rather than counting zeros on a spreadsheet. Look for obsession, grit, and a depth of understanding that goes beyond market sizes and projections. Those qualities tend to be invisible to the conventional eye, but scream loudest to those willing to listen. The founders forging the future live in spaces where methods are untested, and every step forward demands they rewrite the rulebook. If you want to ride alongside them, it means being willing to let go of the familiar safety nets. It means being comfortable with chaos because transformation seldom happens in order. It means knowing that the same qualities that keep a startup afloat before revenue, even when it seems like all hope is lost, are the very ones that can drive hockey stick growth later. Vision, resilience, and the refusal to settle are the real currencies here. In practical terms, this means the smartest VCs look for founders who talk less about their current numbers and more about their future ecosystem. They don't just want products, they want movements, communities buzzing with engagement, ideas spreading like wildfire, Market disruption that isn't incremental, but exponential. These bets defy logic, and that's exactly why they're so explosive. If the idea of backing startups with no revenue feels reckless to you, think about the cost of missing out. The risk isn't just losing money, it's losing the chance to be part of history. To be the investor remembered not for playing it safe, but for spotting lightning in a bottle, for unleashing potential when the world was begging for something more. That's the type of legacy these bets carry. If you've ever felt frustrated by the slow grind of proven startups, wondering why no one backs the wild, brilliant ideas because they don't show numbers yet, you're hearing the call of the future. The pain of waiting for confirmation is a trap. Real impact requires daring. It demands you see beyond the data and into the soul of what could be. The best VCs seize that moment, the seconds where most freeze. They look past balance sheets to the core burning inside founders who refuse to compromise their vision. Then they commit. Not because it's safe, because it's necessary. Your role as an investor changes in this landscape. You're no longer a passive money provider, but a partner in transformation. This requires deeper connections, listening, not to cold metrics, but to the fiery spirit of creation. It takes patience because the payoff isn't instant. It takes time for revolutionary ideas to reshape whole industries. Patience and belief are your weapons now. But make no mistake, it's worth every second and every dollar. Because the startups with no revenue today are the titans disrupting tomorrow. They challenge every assumption, tear down old limits, and build new realities where none seem possible. They aren't waiting for permission to change the game. They're rewriting the rules entirely. You can watch from the sidelines as they rise, or you can get in the arena with them. Back them when the numbers don't add up, and become one of the few who create the future instead of trying to predict it. It's risky. It's nerve-wracking. It's where greatness lives. The world isn't built on what's comfortable. It's shaped by those willing to forge forward in blindness, trusting instincts and vision more than spreadsheets. Betting on startups with no revenue is the ultimate expression of that belief. It's a refusal to settle for less, a fierce declaration that what matters most isn't what is, but what could be. So, as you absorb this truth, remember, the discomfort you feel isn't a warning sign. It's a call to arms. A fire burning inside because you were made for more. The smartest VCs bet on the invisible because they see the future before it arrives. Now, it's your turn to decide. Will you wait for proof and stay behind? Or will you bet on the bold, back the undaunted, and unleash the next wave of change? The choice is yours. But whatever you do, don't ignore the power of believing in what has no numbers yet to prove itself. Because that belief transforms everything.